Okay, so yeah, so 20 minutes later, I had a feeling we're going to open a B before I could get going on this. So there's our actually this should be, even though I don't know that it's going up, this should be turned blue because we were up here a while. Is this worth now a shot? Is this a good low or not? I don't know, but I wanted to do a bit of a trade review here. So actually, sellers did get in control here a bit, and we traded down to, guess where? The dateable bounce, which was quite dateable. In fact, you know, so far it's been going steady, but things are kind of going south in the relationship right now if someone was still dating. So that was my analogy. But yeah, so we got all the way up here, that was a nice trade. Didn't get down here for the, you know, the arranged marriage. That's not a good analogy. Got to figure out something. This I could run with this and have fun with it. But yeah, this was the dateable bounce. It was definitely a dateable bounce, but even a little closer to more marriage material, or at least going steady material. It it worked out quite well. I took some snapshots. Let me see if I can pull that up real quick. Just kind of show how that worked. Let's see here. Well, let's see. Here we go. So I thought I got it even from the edge. Like, it's a little more, it's always more aggressive. You play the exact edge, but sometimes that's the perfect one. But, again, you got to look at, I'd say we've got to look at things more. I think it did come back down a little after that. And I think that's I didn't take a D, but you can see, that was a nice little, worked really well. And if you did get in on the edge, you took 3 ticks of heat. That's it. And you still had an opportunity like, well, I don't like to average in by getting in lower, but it was, it just depends if you wanted to have an aggressive one as well, and then try this. I don't typically trade that way. I have. Usually it's been because I've been too early, fear of missing out, or I'm chasing a bit, or I'm losing on one, so I'm getting in. Well, I rationalize it. But in this case, if you got a good reason to, and you might do that anyway, nothing wrong with that. But anyway, it kept going up from here. Went up here, I think, to just under this little, under the W low, I think is where it got to. And then now B's open. So let's take a look where we're at now and close this. Close this. Okay, we got a poor low. I didn't see whether it was the first time down here or not, but it's around a VPOC, and I don't know that I would 100% want to trade that one because you're going to get some chop around there many times. And look, we are right now. So, it's always better if your trade goes for you right away. However, if someone was to trade this A low, this was a tradable, tradable. I don't know. I just that kind of tickles my funny bone for now. So I'm gonna that'll probably be something I say for a little bit. So we're gonna hold here. I think we're coming back up. Why do I say that? Well, it really didn't. There was a lot more sellers that might have been down there a lot sooner. If there's a lot more participation. Another thing to consider after holidays, some of the bigger money players may still be on vacation or still taking more than one day off. That's always a potential, because it's a day after a holiday, a 3-day weekend or 4-day for some, even if they came back today, and not enough's changed to really make a massive difference, unless you're counting the overnight. But anyway, so let's see, is there going to be another long here? Is B going to make our low, at least for the time being, before it, goes back up? So we'll watch it for a second here. So they're trying to push it down. Make this right again. No, and I didn't like that enough to like not start a video and try to take a trade here. It's early, you know, still in range, still in range, and below value. And well, now we're slightly out of range. We may be getting below range, but you know, it's kind of thin, still very thin relative to up here. Let's give it a second. And you know, almost, it's very likely to at least take a few ticks here. You know, there you go. All right, so it's going to come up. Oh, see, that was a little stronger than I thought. But you know, could have, you know, maybe I didn't draw it accurately or, you know, perfectly. But it's still, if someone was conservative or when they got in, you know, it's still not unreasonable. However, yeah, so now that just didn't work. Stuff doesn't always work, but here we go. Here's another place that maybe was a potential to take long. Your longs right here were there, but they were more in A, and some scalpable stuff in B. But how about this? If you were aggressive on this one, there you go. It's a tradable, dateable. But anyway, just wanted to follow up on that. That was a real nice long in A, and that would be, even on a one lot, that was a nice little chunk of change. So at least in my world. All right. So this yellow line here is a naked TPOC. I believe it is. It should be. Yeah, right here. So it's very likely we're going to get down here, and there'll be probably a very tradable situation there for a minute. It's also an overnight. It's going to jump here. Overnight value area low. So, you know, that's nice looking for potential on reversal. But you know, we've been pretty much, once the market's made up its mind, even after news, we've been really down to the downside. And oh shoot, I hate when I do that. And there we go. That's a better view. So here would be a potential long for a bounce and see what happens. You know, again, it depends on how the news is being processed. I mean, and it's been, again, maybe they've had their meetings and the traders are just getting their desk and really doing something. I've never worked in institutions, so I don't know. And they're like, okay, this is what we're going to do. But you know, right now that was tradable for a nice little, we'll see what happens type of trade. But again, I'm not really liking just the situation of everything. I still haven't fallen into, not saying that hasn't been something I've seen I wanted to trade, but like I kind of, you know, I got to really like it. The way it popped down through this one with the flush, that made me a little bit edgy, because that was just, you know, too much too soon. It was, I mean, it was fast. Once the buyers gave out, it was a little bit of a flush that, you know, sometimes you gotta watch the pace of the tape. And you know, here we go. So had some short covering there, looks like. All right, well, this is nice looking trade here so far. See where it goes. All right, well, that's it for the video. Got to keep these shorter than I've been making them lately.